Welcome to Life in a Nutshell, where we dissect the complexities of life and its wonderful ups and downs. Here, we live and breathe the philosophy that everyone has the capacity within themselves to grow into their fullest potential. Come along with me as we wholeheartedly embrace the amazing ride that we call life.
Hey, what is up? This is Alex here, and today I'm going to be talking about meditation and why I think meditation is probably one of the best habits you could possibly have. It's completely changed my life, and I just really wanted to share my thoughts and my passion for this practice. So I started meditating about 9 months ago, and again, it's completely changed my life. It's almost ridiculous. A lot of people think of meditation as this weird kind of spiritual, hippie, Buddhist thing to do, and that it's not like for normal people. But it is absolutely, I think, should be a normal thing for everyone to do. If you think about the mind and body as a duality, way too many people work out their bodies and don't work out their mind. So if I were to give like an analogy, I would think of your mind as, a club, a club or like a bar. And you want this to be like a happy club, where people inside are happy, enjoying good emotions. It's very positive. And your mind has a bouncer at the door. Now, if your bouncer doesn't work out, he's probably pretty thin, skinny, and all the negative thoughts that are outside of the club can kind of just squeeze their way in to your club and kind of pollute it with all this negativity. Same with negative emotions. They just kind of come in and your bouncer can't do anything about it. But if you work out your mind, that means your bouncer works out. Your bouncer is really, really buff, strong, and capable of keeping, bad customers out. And so then what this bouncer does then, when he's strong, is he can choose to let in only the positive thoughts and the positive emotions. He lets in the positive customers into the club. And then your club is, awesome. It's a happy, positive place where everything inside is going good. It's going good. There's no negativity to drag things down. And you want to have a happy, bouncing, lit club. And the only way to do that is to work out your mind, is to have a strong bouncer at the door. So what you basically do during meditation is you concentrate on your thoughts and you really observe them. And at first it's really, really hard, but you soon come to the realization that your thoughts kind of run themselves. You're not really in control of them. They're more or less controlling you. But with practice, you begin to be able to control your thoughts. And then that's where the power really comes in. It's kind of insane. So basically, once you begin to be able to control your mind, you can A, control your thoughts, and B, control your emotions. So specifically with thoughts, you can have positive or negative thoughts. And when you can't control your mind, it kind of just does what it wants. And oftentimes you end up with a lot of negative thoughts in your head, and not even because you choose so. But when you are able to control your mind, you can actively choose to have positive thoughts, which completely changes your reality. You can completely change the outcomes in your life just simply by having positive thoughts in your head. And you can also control whether you think you can do something or can't do something. Right? Because a lot of times the default for a lot of people is they think they can't do the things that they they dream of or they want to. But when you learn to control your mind, you can actually choose to think that you can. And this oftentimes becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you do achieve the things that you want to achieve. And with regards to controlling your emotions, a lot of times people, and myself included in the past, can't really control their emotions. So in the past, I would get like angry or reactive to things that happened to me, or I would let negativity from myself or other people really affect me. But nowadays, I don't get really angry, and I don't really get reactive whenever situations like confrontational situations arise. And generally, when there's negativity around me, I can choose to let it go. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of like if there's negativity coming towards me, I kind of just like acknowledge it, and then it just kind of goes by me and doesn't really go into me. And I don't know how to better describe it in a less woo-woo kind of, insubstantial way, but that is the best I can describe it, is that negativity doesn't really touch me anymore. So I'll give some specific examples of how meditation just really benefits you in life, in your everyday life. So for example, I have the ability now to stay really, really calm in potential, like, argumentative situations where small things could get to me. Say I'm having a talk with my roommate about some kind of house rule that we disagree on, and in the past, little things like that could have triggered some sort of emotional reaction to it, something that made me want to attack or lash out because I wanted to be right, I wanted to be the one in control. But nowadays, I can almost see it coming, I can feel it coming, because I'm so aware of the emotions that run through my body and my mind that whenever I see it kind of arising, I slowly just acknowledge it and I let it go before it can bubble up into something bigger. And another example is that I can actively, consciously control compulsive behavior. So in the past, I would have, say with regards to social media, like an uncontrollable compulsion to check all the time. Check. Even though I knew nothing was going to be there, I would always be kind of like doing it without even realizing it. But nowadays I can kind of keep that in check, rein it in. Like I'll have a thought in my head that's like, hey, I should check Facebook to see if I have any notifications. And then almost in like slow motion, my mind will realize that I had that thought, and I'll have another thought that's like, oh, but you're not really gonna have anything there. You just checked like an hour ago, and plus that's not going to add anything to the quality of your life, so therefore you shouldn't check it. And then I'll just rein in that thought and I won't check it. Whereas in the past, all of that would have just happened in like one smooth action, and I would have checked Facebook, come back to it, without even realizing that this kind of compulsive behavior was happening. And the last example I want to share, which I think is huge, just even this in itself is enormous, is that nowadays I don't really stress anymore. And it's not because I don't have stressful things going on in my life, it's because I choose not to stress. I'll say that again. I actively choose not to stress. And it almost sounds insane, even to myself, like saying this out loud, because I don't think I even realized before that stress is a choice. Stress doesn't happen to you. People, we ourselves, make stress happen. Now, granted, because I have control of my mind, I can choose to not stress. Because when I know I have like 15 things on my plate that I need to do, I actively choose to think about only one of them at a time. And because I have, enough control over my mind as a muscle, I can choose to think about just one thing. Whereas before, I would have not been able to do that, and I would have kind of been helplessly thinking about all 15 at a time and driving myself nuts. Like, I have this to do, that to do, when I'm going to do this, how I'm going to fit that in. And even though I could not really do all 15 of those things at the same time, I was thinking about all 15 at the same time, and that is what causes stress. So I just wanted to make this podcast to really just like hit home like some of the personal benefits that meditation has given me, and make it clear that meditation is not this thing for like just like Buddhists or like weird people who cross their legs and sit in the woods and don't talk to anyone. Like, it is literally a life-changing practice that I think everyone should do. It's like working out your mind as going to the gym is working out your body. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. I'll make another podcast sometime on how to actually begin meditating, how I started, and like a very practical guide on what to do and how to make this into a habit. But I can't really say much more about this other than it's changed my life completely. I do it daily, and I've done it for about 9 months, and I can't begin to say how much it has benefited my life.
So, thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. And until the next time, I'll keep you posted on when the next one's coming out. Peace.